Welcome to Insurance Claim Radio, where leading hail loss consumer advocate Phil Coutu and his team of experts teach you how to avoid the pitfalls of hail damage claims and how to use his team of experts to get what you truly deserve under your insurance policy. Now, here's your host of Insurance Claim Radio, Phil Coutu.
Hi, I'm your host, Phil Coutu. We're live here on Insurance Claims Radio. We're a program designed to help policyholders, the public, with their insurance claims. We're primarily focusing on property damage of commercial and a residential nature. And I am here live in office with Ryan from Blue Ribbon Exteriors. You can reach him at 720-227-930. Our other panel guest today is Pro Roof Solutions, Mike Neely. You can reach him at 720-628-7293. And then we got a professional public adjuster in the house, James D'Angelo. You can reach him at 303-885-3731. I'm Phil Coutu, and I'm a roofing contractor, a general contractor, public adjuster, and an insurance appraiser. You can check me out at rooftop.roofing.com. We'll leave it at the one website. You can reach me at 303-997-4247. We're going to open it up today. We're going to let James start. One of our topics, we got several topics. We're going to talk about when you need a public adjuster, when you need an attorney, when you need a professional contractor, and the value of each one versus an attorney. Because a lot of people think that they need an attorney. James, you want to start?
Sure. To determine when you need it is really a hard thing to say generically. You need to look at it a case by case, but let's just assume that you do have a problem. You and the insurance company are apart. Whether you're $10 apart or $100 apart, you're going to have to make a decision how you want to move forward. There are experts out there. There are contractors that are experts. There are public adjusters that are experts. And there are attorneys that work in this space. Most attorneys do not know this space. In fact, most of the attorneys you see advertising, they know personal damage or personal injury, but they really don't know property damage. And one of the reasons is there's not a big payday for them. Plus, it's a very technical space in the legal community. I've had time and time again, commercial loss, owner says to me, or the insured says to me, I'm going to call my attorney. I'm explaining to them I'm a public adjuster. I'll handle their claim for them. I'm going to call my attorney. And I say to them, you can call your attorney. I can assure you of this. You're going to pay for their education on this claim. They don't know it. A good attorney will come to us. Will come to either the contractor sitting here in this room or a public adjuster like myself to put the claim together for the attorney. One of the difference between myself and others in the industry, especially like Rooftop here, Phil Coutu, he will bring in the attorneys that fit the claim. And I do the same thing. I will bring in an attorney that actually fits your claim. It's not a generic business. It's not a one-size-fits-all.
Well, here's another point, people, and a lot of contractors, a lot of PAs don't get this. When do you need the attorney? Well, first thing, attorneys are fantastic when you have a specialized attorney in property insurance, but why would you bring him in just when you have a claims dispute? He might be charging, if you're going to go on contingency, he's going to be charging you fees. It's going to eat up your rebuilding money. You want to get hit with a quadruple deductible or way more often than that. So if you're dealing with really good claims professionals, you shouldn't bring the attorney in right away. Occasionally, sometimes you have to because of coverage issues, but you're better off dealing with a public adjuster or a really experienced contractor. Why? Because, there's other mechanisms to get that claim settled. One is to go back and forth, get that claim up there high. When you go to the attorney, too, you want to make sure you're not signing a contract. Now, no offense to all the attorneys out there, but attorneys will slide you a contingency contract on everything you already got. That is ridiculous. It's personally happened to me in my younger days. You want to say, hey, I'm going to pay you on the new money you're going to get. Or we're going to go to appraisal now. We've got it to this place. Or we're just going to pay you hourly here and then change over. That's something here at Rooftop, Power Appraisers, and I'm also a public adjuster that I specialize in. I do all that negotiation on behalf of my clients because you don't want to give away. You can have a $3 million claim and they're hitting you at 30%. And you're like, well, 2.5 was rebuilding, 500 was bad faith. Are you crazy? We're short. So we're going to get right into that. We're going to take a quick break. I'm Phil Coutu at Rooftop Roofing, 303-997-4247.
You're listening to Insurance Claim Radio. Be sure to stay tuned. We'll be right back after these important messages.
Do you have a commercial property hail claim, troubled claim, underpaid claim, missed damages, bad faith, possible legal action? Rooftop Restoration is a leading hail loss consumer advocate for poorly handled insurance claims. We specialize in hail damage, large commercial claims, and provide the total claims package risk-free. We pay and cover all expert costs. Engineers, attorneys, roof inspectors, adjusters, we get you what you deserve under your insurance policy. Finance large deductibles, finance all the experts, exceptional experience and a stellar reputation with zero out-of-pocket costs. Risk-free. Rooftop Restoration, 303-997-4247, 303-997-4247. Check us out at rooftop-restoration.com.
Welcome back to Insurance Claim Radio. Now, here's Phil Coutu and his team.
Hi, we're live at Insurance Claims Radio. I'm Phil Coutu at Rooftop Roofing, 303-997-4247. We were just talking about when it is a good time to hire an attorney or a public adjuster or your contractor. Now, let me get into this quick because we got two very experienced contractors here. Actually, four. We're all contractors. I'm also a public adjuster and insurance appraiser, Mr. D'Angelo's, all the above as well. A lot of contractors in the hail belts like Colorado, you can find some very savvy and experienced contractors. They can actually do a lot of stuff, especially on the residential claims, that a public adjuster can do. However, to talk about certain insurance and coverages, you're supposed to be a licensed public adjuster. That's new legislation that came through the last several years that limits the power of the contractor. Also now, in Colorado, they state that the public adjuster cannot be involved in the repair contract. And in most cases, except one exception that I'm aware of, that is true. So they kind of segregating out the power there. They claimed, the insurance industry claimed it was a conflict of interest. There's all kinds of conflicts of interest in the business. It doesn't mean it's helping the consumer, I guess is my point. Some of these legislations do not help the consumer. They're narrowing the power of your professional. So we don't want to bring in my opinion, I don't want to bring in an attorney until I absolutely need it. Okay, that's when I've exhausted everything, whether it's as a contractor, as a public adjuster. The reason being is they can go by an hourly fee or they can go by a contingency. And most people say, oh, I want to go for the contingency. Well, if you're a condo association and they paid you $100,000 and your public adjuster is fighting, wants to fight for you, or you're saying, do I hire a PA or a public adjuster? My experience is first start with your contractor, then your PA, and then your attorney, because you don't want to lose any of the rebuilding money to the fees the attorney will charge. So that's something at my company we specialize in and make sure that
I'm
we
going to
don't lose
interrupt
that
you here,
money.
Phil, too, and I know you're aware of this. All of you are. I've seen attorneys actually hurt the insured, okay, because they don't know the terrain. You know, they'll settle for something that's less. I've seen claims that I've looked at. Insurance company pays $70,000. I look at the claim. I run the numbers myself. It's over $300,000. I talk to them. I explain to them what I can do. I tell them what I believe it is. And they say, okay. They go to their attorney. Next thing you know, the attorney settles it for $150,000 or $200,000.
We have a perfect example, me and you.
Right.
I can't name the association.
Right.
Just last year.
Right, same thing.
Where I tried to get boxed in by the insurance company. I actually was the contractor who held an assignment, a claim. Anyways, I had attorneys. My own client got bad advice, and they said my contract was illegal the way I did it, but it wasn't. The insurance company threw it to the attorneys. My own client tried to make my contract. We're at about, we'll just use some rough numbers. We're just north of $350,000, and the attorneys my client consulted with said this claim's no more. My experts say it's no more than $600,000 or $800,000. So my client was trying to figure out how to break our contract as the contractor, but the way we had it tied up, they couldn't. And I actually had it out with the board because they didn't understand, right? And we told them their claim's worth north of about $1.9 million. Okay. Long story short, James was in there with me. We ended up in mediation, and we actually ended up with 2 really young attorneys just for the day. They said to me, "Oh, they offered $20,000 extra to start a day," and I said, "You know what, guys? Attorneys, get out of here. You guys can leave." No, no, we'll stay. They're getting paid. All I needed them there was for their license. At this point, they were too young. It was just to have that degree there. We entered that mediation. By the time we left, I don't know if it was 7:30 or whatever. James was there with me, and we walked out north of 1.5, well, 1.6 million north. Can't name the insurance company, everything's confidential. But the attorneys actually said it's worth, my own attorney said it might be worth 800 grand. We had 3 attorneys look at the claim. And we're a prominent PA in construction firm, and 3 attorneys turned it down. And I was like, all right, what are you guys thinking? Anyways, they thought it was worth 6,800, double the 350. We thought it was worth a lot more. We took it on ourselves all the way, hired some attorneys just for the day, just to have their licenses. And even when we were in there, our condo board's attorney made a comment, this might be worth top 600 or 700, okay? And they had to eat so much crow when we walked out north of 1.6 million. So, and the reason being is that we understood the claim. I was a construction and the claims professional on that claim.
That was it. They didn't understand the claim. They didn't understand the terrain. They didn't understand the strategy. In fact, all the attorneys there never got the strategy. And
even at the end, they didn't get. They fell off their chairs. They didn't understand the forensic damage very well. I had walked them through it, and they couldn't wrap their head around it. And you got to remember, attorney is a great tool, but when you're getting into forensic and adjusting damage, honestly, the insurance company's adjuster could understand a lot more as I explained it to him. That's why the claim went through the roof than our own people on that side. And we had decent people, but that's what you're getting when you've got claims professionals that understand it. So, and that's why I say, and that attorney was not on a percentage. We just hired them to come in for to write one thing right up to the mediator, Phil, and come in for the day.
Phil, here I'm going to just make everybody smile here. That day, for those 2 attorneys that came in and sat with us, that was a $25,000 legal bill right there for that day.
Yeah.
So, you need to be aware of that. One day we brought the attorneys in.
Here's the deal, though. It cost us around 25 grand all in for about 2 days total work they did. If they would have been on percentage, which most people, a lot of PAs run to, our bill, just say 30% on that or 33%, and we'll just round it at 1.5. That would have been $450,000.
$500,000.
So we'd rather pay the 25 and get out and get all the work done. And a lot of professionals are not employing some of these tactics because if you really properly get to that point where there was a breakdown, you get to mediation, explain it to them, you do have a chance of settling. And if not, you still have your lawsuit. And that's when you bring your attorney in on contingency. Is how we handle it here.
Yep.
All right, guys, we have a little bit more time here. And let's get into, got some topics here. Let's get into, let's talk a little bit. We got all these construction professionals here. Let's talk about how much more time it takes for a contractor to handle an insurance claim versus just a regular project. Okay, because I always like the insurance company say, "Oh, this is the price market," and I want to go through. We've got Ryan here and Mike. Let's start with Mike. If I was to hire you and pay you cash I called you up on my phone. I need you to do my roof and siding. Okay, let's say it's 20 grand. Let's talk about that versus when you're dealing with an insurance company. What's the extra time requirement, and the headache and the cost to you?
I probably go out in a different way than the other contractors in here. I'm a door knocker, so I door knock on the house, and I come and see and talk to them. And I like my client to come outside and look at that roof. Once they do, then we're going to say, hey, what are we going to do? I'm going to go up, take videos and pictures of that roof so their eyes can see my eyes, all right? And once I do that, then we're in agreement. Then I'll help them file the claim. Once that claim's filed, within 48 hours by law in Colorado, that adjuster has to give you a call back, all right? Set up a time and date. We will meet that adjuster out there. I kill him with kindness, and then we go at it, all right? That adjuster, when we meet him out there, I have that ladder ready. I have the scope prepared for him in advance, all right, so he can't wiggle away from what we're doing. And so we take a lot of time in preparation of getting that client to where they need to be.
Now, how about when you're door knocking, though, and the person says, hey, Mike, I don't have insurance, but I do need a new roof and new siding?
How long does that take you?
Again, we're going to kind of go through the same process. We're going to bring him out, let him look at this damage. All right. I know, James, you're looking like, no, that's not what I.
No. My question is this, Mike. A different question.
Okay.
I know that when these hailstorms hit, you just can't put a roof on tomorrow.
No.
What is that time frame? That's where I'm trying to get. And how does the insurance company either help you get it going faster or slower with mortgage companies on the check? Do you run into that?
Yeah, all the time. It can be, 2 weeks. It could be 2 months.
Okay.
6 months sometimes.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, let's see if Ryan can jump in here and nail this question. Here's the question. Is it more time-consuming to handle a $20,000 siding roofing claim, or when you do deal straight with the consumer, a cash deal to do the siding and the roofing?
I think that's it's a loaded question because if you're in the middle of a hailstorm, right, and you've got a cash deal, I think there's two things that happen. In a cash deal, or what we call a retail job, we can go right to the supplier in a cash deal and buy the material right there, right, and go ahead and put the roof on. Customers agreed to the scope. When you're on a physical insurance job, let's just talk about insurance for 2 seconds, and if we've got a break, we can break.
We got 1 minute.
So here's what I would say in insurance, and this is for everybody listening out there, is that in insurance, they have to approve your scope. So it can take as fast as the adjusters are capable, meaning that if we've collected all the damage, we start to do the work, and then we find out that there's space decking under a mod bed or whatever, and that's going to cause us to have to redeck. We have to go back and get approval, send pictures. They have to approve it. On the siding, they have to approve it, and then the additional damage. And sometimes they come out again, meaning that it can take, and this is physical jobs we have in queue today, we've sent out 6 months ago supplements that still aren't approved today.
That's what I wanted to really get to.
Okay, we're going to jump. We'll be right back, James. We're going to jump into a quick break. You're listening live to Insurance Claims Radio.
You're listening to Insurance Claim Radio. Be sure to stay tuned. We'll be right back after these important messages.
Do you have a commercial property hail claim, troubled claim, underpaid claim, missed damages, bad faith, possible legal action? Rooftop Restoration is a leading hail loss consumer advocate for poorly handled insurance claims. We specialize in hail damage, large commercial claims, and provide the total claims package risk-free. We pay and cover all expert costs. Engineers, attorneys, roof inspectors, adjusters, we get you what you deserve under your insurance policy. Finance large deductibles, finance all the experts, exceptional experience and a stellar reputation with zero out-of-pocket costs. Risk-free. Rooftop Restoration. 303-997-4247. 303-997-4247. Check us out at rooftop-restoration.com.
Welcome back to Insurance Claim Radio. Now, here's Phil Coutu and his team.
Hi, this is Phil Coutu with Insurance Claims Radio. We are live. We're talking about the differences between a retail job where a consumer calls you and it's just a cash transaction versus an insurance claim. Ryan was just speaking about it. We're getting the question a little bit better. We're trying to tell the public, the insurance industry, and the whole insurance community out there, we're using what is called the market price. But when I do a job that's cash, I go meet my customer, I sit down with them for half an hour to an hour and a half, depending on the complexities of the job. We shake hands, we write up a contract right there on the spot. We nail everything. $20,000, I'm going to do your roof and siding. Fantastic. I order the materials. I send my guys out there a week, 2, 3 weeks later, whatever the schedule is, we get it roofed. We meet with the customer, we get paid. When we do an insurance job, people, here's how it rolls. We call the adjuster. The adjuster schedules a time. Might not show up the first time. Hopefully he does. So we reschedule. Or the contractor and adjuster miss each other. The adjuster comes out. The adjuster is going to write an independent scope. He might meet your contractor or send it to your contractor. Your contractor is often going to say, whoa, this is missing, and I saw this and this. So he's going to go back. A whole bunch of emails are going to entail while you're trying to prove your claim or you're trying to prove the construction. Then sometimes the price is low or sometimes the scope is low, and you could carry on fighting for many, many months, and you might have 1 or 2 re-inspections. Then you can get into appraisal, all kinds of other things. What we're trying to say is that there's nowhere in the insurance policy that I've ever read that says this is our price per square foot for this, this, and this. And you know what? You have a right to use a quality contractor of construction you're used to. Furthermore, you can't expect a guy like Ryan, Mike, James, or even me to do that job at the exact same price as a cash bid when I got to put in 3 or 4 times the time requirement to get it settled, to meet with the adjuster, 3, 4 trips driving back to the property. These are things that are concerns that, the industry doesn't understand when they try to do the one size fits all.
And ladies and gentlemen, this is Ryan with Blue Ribbon. You can reach us at 720-227-9330. But here's the other issue that we have is sometimes the adjuster comes early and wants to only talk to the homeowner.
On purpose. Does not want to talk to you as a contractor or as an expert. On purpose. What I wanted to say earlier, folks, about time, it's a process when you deal with an insurance company. And every claim is different. Don't assume you had a claim before on your car and the one on your roof or the one with your fire or flood is going to be the same. They are all distinct and different.
And they're separated. So typically the adjuster's going to separate them out, and you're talking about each individual claim. And ladies and gentlemen, they do that because you have a deductible that they've got to collect, right? So that the contractor, you have to pay out, and they can lessen the portion of the claim, make it more ambiguous to you. But I mean, that's just one area that they don't show up. So most people think, well, the adjuster's just going to show up today. They're 30 minutes early. My contractor isn't here yet. I'll go ahead and walk around because I believe that they're honest. And you don't want to do that. What you want to do is call your contractor and say, hey, they showed up 30 minutes early, and put the contractor on the phone with them and tell them, hey, hold on a minute, wait. And I think that Phil brings up some great points. When you're in a hailstorm, ladies and gentlemen, the price is not the same as the estimating software.
Well, there's something, Ryan, you just said, and I don't agree with it. Do not tell your insurance adjuster to wait. Do not hold up this claim. If the insurance adjuster wants to inspect it, you allow them to inspect it.
Okay, let me jump in because I'm going to disagree with both of you.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's different ways to skin a cat. When I was doing residential, I liked to meet the adjuster. But if I got busy as the contractor, I wanted to get him out there, not to hold the claim up. But here's one thing I will tell you. When you have your construction professional or your PA meet the adjuster on site, typically you're going to find more damage off the hop, which means you have a less discrepancy often on the dispute. Okay, especially where Mike said I show up with a detailed estimate already done. You know why? Because now you're giving your adjuster everything you saw. So there's no real reason that he should miss a whole bunch of things on the scope. Honestly, they're probably still going to miss some. It's going to be short, but they're not going to miss as much. Correct. So it's a two-sided coin. But if you're really busy and you can't make the appointment, if the damage is explosive where there's not going to be discrepancy if the roof's repaired versus replace or the siding, you might want to because your contractor is busy, you might want to let him go out there. And in that case, it's best too if you can get your contractor on the phone while he's out there or insist, I want to talk to my contractor, and then they talk and say, hey, do your estimate. I'm going to send you my scope over by email, or get your scope out by email before he gets there. Because even then he has it in front of him. It makes a difference. Now, I can attest to this, not as a contractor or PA, because I was an insurance adjuster for spanning several decades, and I ran guys. And I'm going to tell you, even though I was a construction professional on both sides, if you presented me with a detailed estimate, even if it was way higher than what I was going to write, I look at everything and go, oh, that's legitimate. Oh, geez, I didn't think that they had to carry the shingles 100 feet to the end of the road. I'm flying as an adjuster, you guys. I'm just using my software, punch it out. I don't have skin in the game. I'm just the adjuster, so I'm just going to punch that estimate out. Time is money. Sometimes we're percentage, sometimes we're hourly. So until you bring it to my point, but I'm going to tell you, if I'm the contractor, I'm going to be like, oh, look it, we can't have a truck, a semi truck loaded with shingles with a conveyor belt going on this driveway. We're going to have to load these on the front boulevard, which they could get stolen. We're going to have to hand carry them. Guys, those are extra labor hours and extra things that go into a job. And so they bring up good points, but these are things the regular consumer's not going to think of, and I want everyone to think of. There's different complexities to a job, and there's things you can do and can't do. You let that truck go on that driveway, I can't tell you. I've done over 20,000 residential roofs. I've probably had about maybe 25, 30 driveway issues in my life, but I've repaved whole driveways. Me and the supplier have chipped in. We have notices now. People sign off if I think there's something with the driveway. Hey, you got 10 cracks. We might crack it another 6 or 8. Can you please give us permission to assume the liability? Otherwise, we're going to drop it at the curb. But I got to charge the insurance company now. Because who's going to carry it for 3 hours? You're going to have 2-3 guys handing those 200 bundles to the house and then up the ladder. It's an extra charge. Insurance adjusters don't even think like that, is my point. So it's up to you. And that goes into water restoration, into fire claims, things, difficulty of access, or just difficulty of the job. You don't know. Sometimes you're in a tight area and you're like, hey, I can't get under. I got an overhang on a roof that's 4 inches and the shingles were all flashed before they built that overhang. Mr. Adjuster, like, I got to take that overhang apart to put them back to pre-loss condition. Otherwise, when the rain blows really hard in a thunderstorm from there, I might develop a leak. Now, a lot of contractors just going to go, oh, I'll just put it back and try and tar it down. It might buy them 3-4 years. It's going to leak on you. That's why you want a professional with experience. Ryan.
That's exactly right. And I think the other thing is you need to remember when there's a hailstorm, it's like Christmas. You don't go in and buy the best toy for the cheapest price. And the same thing happens to us out there, that the material goes up. We had 3 raises this year, which changes the average pricing that the insurance uses as their estimating tool.
Yeah, that's just demand on the marketplace.
Right.
You
And
know?
the
That's
estimating
demand.
tool's behind. It lags behind.
Of course it
Months.
does. Of course it does. You know, all I wanted to get across earlier, Ryan, was the insured has a duty to assist with the claim and not hold it up. Okay? You could put your coverage at risk.
I agree.
Also, it's the insured's responsibility and obligation to pay the deductible.
Correct. Legally.
That is the customer's participation. When you hear a roofing contractor saying they will waive that, they're inexperienced
illegal.
and you should stay far away from them because a customer should participate as part of your contract. That would be a misrepresentation. It can blow your whole claim. So, guys, we are coming to an end of our Christmas show here. And this might play after Christmas, so it could
Happy
be January.
holidays.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
We're going to wrap it up. You're live with Insurance Claims Radio. We'll see you next time. My name is Phil Coutu. You can check me out at rooftoproofing.com, 303-997-4247.
Thank you for listening to Insurance Claim Radio. For more information on how to maximize your hail damage insurance claim or to contact Phil and his team, call 303-997-4247. And be sure to tune in next week for more Insurance Claim Radio.
Do you have a commercial property hail claim, troubled claim, underpaid claim, missed damages, bad faith, possible legal action? Rooftop Restoration is a leading hail loss consumer advocate for poorly handled insurance claims. We specialize in hail damage, large commercial claims, and provide the total claims package risk-free. We pay and cover all expert costs. Engineers, attorneys, roof inspectors, adjusters, we get you what you deserve under your insurance policy. Finance large deductibles, finance all the experts, exceptional experience and a stellar reputation with zero out-of-pocket costs. Risk-free. Rooftop Restoration. 303-997-4247. 303-997-4247. Check us out at rooftоprestoration.com.